Well, I'll tell you one thing. If
Whatever
that ever happened,
jackwagon runs Panfish Nation and leaves that crap to the so when the best show on earth comes on, should be fired.
I got to tell you, if it happens again, we're going to stop intros. That's about the second time it's happened, and I don't even know where they're at or how to turn them on or off.
I
That's,
didn't even think to look to see if that was on there this week.
well, everybody knows it's going to be on Wednesday night, so
It was it was free
be sure,
advertisement for Wednesday night,
be
Panfish
sure to
Nation.
tune
Oh God, freaking
in.
rookie! So and see now you guys know I take trips to places like New Jersey just so I can have weeks off.
By the way, how was that?
It was in case my employer ever sees this, it was a great experience getting to set and encourage and educate people of how to communicate with each other better.
That's not what I asked.
And it was very nice to have my company spend all that money on travel, hotels, $40 a night to park at a hotel that they were paying for me to stay in.
$40 a night for parking.
40 bucks a night to park the rental car in the hotel parking lot that I was staying in.
Of course, they paid for your rental car too, right?
Absolutely, I ain't paying for all that. You would be amazed at what they had to pay for me to go up there.
And Chad, it wasn't just you. How many of you was there?
Um, I was the only one that had to fly in. The other gentleman that lives locally up there. So
Oh, it's just a couple of you.
yeah, yeah.
I know. I used to work for a big company that built handicap accessible vans.
Did they keep you employed because you were the test?
No,
Oh,
I built the vans.
I thought maybe they tested their functionality with somebody like you. They
No,
figured if somebody like Lyle could use it, anybody could.
no, that's not the case. But they would send you to schools for different training and things, and they pick up the tab for everything.
Yep.
And that's. But it usually wasn't just one or two people. It was usually a bunch, and
And usually on the other stuff when I travel, there's usually other people. But when I do these kind of things, it's typically just me visiting one of our stations. So it,
right,
it
right.
it's some travels a group, sometimes it's just me. But
Well,
it's nice
sometimes,
because
sometimes.
yeah, my not that I usually don't eat breakfast, but like my lunches and dinners, and they have to pay for everything while you travel, so it's nice.
Yeah, and that's why they got the big bucks. You know what I mean?
That's right.
And that's why you're independently wealthy.
Yeah, okay. Okie dokie. You say so, Mister.
I don't know. I don't have any idea. I'm just happy that you got a great job and they take good care of you.
Hey,
That's the
I
main thing because I got to tell you,
cannot
if,
complain.
if you have a good job, the way things are in the last 20 years,
Mm-hmm.
if you have a good job and you're nearing the point of no return for retirement things, you better hang on to it. You better keep it and take care of it. Even if things get a little rough sometimes, you won't be able to replace that for a long, long time, or maybe
No.
never.
Well, I'm getting ready to hit 25, 25 years with my company. I've actually been there 25 years already, but officially 25 years in February. And
Congratulations. That's awesome.
you don't hear that a lot no more. People working them
No,
that many years.
no, you don't.
People jump ship every chance they get. But I told my boss if he wants me to go sweep the parking lot, I'll sweep as long as I keep my job.
Well, you just got to. You're going to be to the point where you won't have enough time to get retirement built up at another place. So
Yeah.
it is what it is. That's the way the world flies these days. And
Yeah.
like I say, I'm very happy for you and Dee and everything you've accomplished and what you got going on. I think you guys have done wonderful, and I'm proud of you.
Well, I appreciate that.
In the meantime, let's talk about a little catfishing.
And do that. Want to say hi to your people?
But why don't you do that? Have you got any tournament results?
I have not seen tournament results in a while.
Well, you haven't been here in a while.
Fair point. It's been 2 weeks. Calm down. Look. Here he is giving me all kinds of compliments about how hard I work, and blah blah blah, and then starts just digging in about I never show up here though. Blah
I
blah
didn't
blah.
say never. I never say never, but I gotta give you shit sometime.
That's true.
Okay.
All right, let's go say hi to Sampy. We got Bugman 22, Burr Boys Outdoors, Mama Cindy, Carolina Catfish, uh, Creole Catfishing. See, they got some nice fish this weekend.
Oh, baby, they did.
Catch fish with us. Hope you're doing well and healing up, my friend. There's my sister from another mother, Heather Stokes. There's Josh, the weekend angler, who is noticeably missing, obviously,
Yes.
because
Yes,
I
he
came in
is.
tonight and it's way, I up the handsomeness of the show every Monday night that I get to join.
Brotherly
John,
love.
John Boy's catfishing. What's going on, my friend? Lisa Swain, Nathan Hellebush. We traded. Wait a minute. Here I am being nice, telling this young man I hope he's feeling better and healing up nice, and he's saying we traded for Josh for Chad. I feel ripped off. You, sir, can you know what? Kiss my foot.
Yeah, man.
Rowdy Royal, what's going on, pal? Mark Barnum. I really don't like that they changed this at thing from their
Yeah, I
channel.
don't either. That's
Rowdy Royal, Benoit Fishing Outdoors. Greg Burgess, Uncle Lou. 922 Krabby Barbecue. Hey, I got the rhyme on that one. I keep scrolling. There's the Catfish Cowboy. Trying to make sure I don't miss anybody, but if I do, I apologize. If I do, it's all Mark's. I'm sorry. They look so much alike. It's Lyle's fault.
I was gonna say Josh, but that's okay.
Well, they look. He looks like them too.
Oh my God. What's wrong with you?
A
Hey,
lot. There's Dave Funk. What?
Dave Funk catches a lot of giant fish, but there was one caught in Missouri this week.
We were going to get to that.
Yeah. Let's get to that right now.
River Rat 3030, Joe Buck 66. We'll get to it when I say we'll get to it, mister.
Oh, here we go.
I am not done. I am almost to the bottom. Okay, now we can get to. Oh, wait, nope. Cannot miss Miss Chrissy Brown. Now, anyway,
Absolutely.
so yeah, let's talk about that fish because I
Well,
messaged you guys about it,
yeah.
and I was like, that. I'll be honest, I'm thinking world record on that fish.
Yeah, me too.
If not, it was at least pushing the world record.
I think it was bigger.
So do I.
I've weighed fish that was over 100 pounds, and they're giants. They're giants, but I never seen a picture of one that's that big. Not not even the pictures that was taken of the current world record, the world record before that that was in St. Louis. There's been 3 world records caught on the Mississippi River in Missouri. There's no doubt in my mind that was a new world record.
Yeah, just looking at it, he was giving it everything he had. He
He's
said
a big boy too.
he weighed it 126 pounds and couldn't get it off the ground.
I'm gonna guess. It's strictly a guess because without weighing it in certified scales, there's no way to be 100% correct. But
100%
I'm going
agree.
to say that fish would go between 150 and 160.
I honestly I can't argue that. I mean, if you look at the pictures and watch the video, his hand barely fits in the corner of that fish's mouth, and there's just so. I
It's
mean, it that
freaking
fish has got a
huge,
bigger
man.
head than you.
What are you trying to say?
that you got a big head.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
And
That fish
I don't know
was.
anything about the guy that caught it. I don't know how tall he is, weight, anything
It
like
doesn't
that.
matter if he's
It
5'8".
it somewhat does when you're trying to guess based just off of pictures. Because somebody that's somebody that your height that's 5 foot 3.5
Oh my God,
and 200 and well, we'll call you 175 to be nice.
that'd be nice.
Versus somebody that's 6'2", 250 pounds, that fish will look a little bit different. He looked like a decent sized fella. I
He
don't
does.
know.
I'm just get. He is big guy, from
Yeah,
what I can tell. Now I'll tell you something, Chad. My buddy Jason Mathena, six
he's a small
five.
fella. I was gonna say he's a small fella.
Yeah, now he's lost a lot of weight, but
He is.
when we was fishing tournaments and him and his mother was always at them, Vicky was tall but thin, and Jason could hold an 80-pound fish and it looked like it weighed 50 or 60 pounds. Vicky'd hold that fish and it looked like it weighed 120
Yeah.
because of the difference in their
Mhm.
builds. So yeah, it does make a difference, but that doesn't look like no little guy to me.
Well,
That
and a lot
that
of
fish
times
is
too,
pretty huge.
even when people are holding them 60, 70, 80 pounders, the way the angle of everything that they're doing, they're pushing that fish out, right?
Yeah, right.
That boy was not.
No, he's holding it in tightly. Got a grip on that bad
It
boy.
was everything he could do. I mean, even when he tried to lift it up to his chest, he was like, "Oh God!" He only had it about a half a second. The guy is 5'10".
Yeah,
Oh, so well, you said by Dieter. I can't believe anything that guy says.
I got you. I understand.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Um, but still, 5'10". That's about my height. So he's probably in his low 200s, probably right around 200. Looking at him, that fish was. I'm telling you, the girth of the fish alone. Not just talking about the head. If you look at it, and Lyle's going, fish don't have shoulders, but that fish had some shoulders, and he had a belly about as big as mine.
For a fish to have shoulders, it'd have to have arms.
Technically, they have fins.
That's not the same thing.
Whatever.
I'm just saying.
Greg Berger said, Lyle, that fish would make Tank look normal size.
I agree. I agree. That I've never seen a fish even close to that big. And like I say, I've weighed 100-pound fish in tournaments. So it was a stud. There's no question about that. And so's the guy. Let's talk about that for just a second, Chad. That guy lifted that fish up multiple times for pictures and video and
Yeah.
this and that.
And that's once he got the camera on. Because remember, in the video, if you watch it, he says he didn't think the fish was that big. It
Right,
really wasn't a fight to get the
right.
fish to the boat. It was once he got it to the side of the boat that it began.
Well, you know what the old timers always said, when they see the boat, they usually go crazy. Well, yeah, that's probably the case with that. Here's another thing. How many times has that fish been caught in its life? Once? 10
Yeah.
times? You
You don't
don't
know.
know. That fish could tell you some stories. Now, granted, according to the Missouri Department of Conservation, and I've done a lot of stuff with them over the years, not anything the last couple of years, but I've worked very closely with those guys. Those fish will reproduce up until the day they die. So that crap of people saying, "Oh, it's at the end of its life cycle, it's done breeding," that is not the case. They will produce up, and this is proven studies. You can go to Missouri Department of Conservation and look this stuff up. They will produce the year they die, they are still reproducing offspring. So, but how many, if it's 25 years old, it's probably had 20 years of millions of eggs that it's passed that gene on to. Isn't that awesome?
Mm-hmm.
Now, it may never produce one that gets close to its size. Hell, it may produce 4 or 5. You don't know. But if you don't let them get that big, you'll never know.
Right.
So
Uh,
there's several
Cre-
ways to look at that.
Creole said that fish was 150 plus easy.
I agree.
And
I
then he
agree. In
says,
fact, it might have went over 160. You just don't know.
that's right here. This is a great comment. But that is the first fish picture that he's ever seen that nobody argued the posted weight.
Nope, never.
Even the keyboard warriors were like, "Holy cow!"
Yeah, it is. It's just an absolute giant. And
Yeah,
what's the guy's name that had the one? Him and his wife was in a John boat. And they couldn't get into the boat. They got a picture of its head and about,
I don't know
I
if I
don't
seen
know,
that picture.
huh?
When was that? I don't remember
Oh,
seeing the
it's
picture.
it's been several years ago. That thing's been all over the internet. And it's
I
an
may have
older
saw it and
older
just don't
guy.
remember it.
They couldn't get it in the boat, and they estimated it to have been a giant. Well, the head on that fish wasn't near as big as that one on the one that boy caught this weekend. Not even close,
Uncle Lou says, "Can you imagine that fish hitting in warm water with a bumping rod in your hand?"
baby. Man, that is just absolute
Nope.
giant. Congratulations to that gentleman for
Yeah.
catching that fish. Um, I think that it's wonderful that he released it. I don't think anyone in the world could condemn him if he'd have wanted to wait it around and seen if it was a world record or state record. There's no question it would have been the Missouri state record. No,
Yeah.
in my mind, there's no question. In my mind, there's no question it was a new world record, but that's debatable. I mean, I could debate that, but to release that fish and let it swim off and not try to make anything out of it is outstanding on his part. He's an upstanding young man. I congratulate him for catching that fish. Uh, it
You
just
know,
goes to show, I'm going to tell you a story, Chad. When we was fishing those Miss MRM tournaments down in Memphis, that's where from the last dam on the Mississippi River in St. Louis, where they built the canal and you have to walk through. From there on down, the Mississippi gets pretty wild. By the time you get to Memphis, you got 100-foot holes all over the place and lots of current. And by the time you get down where Jeremy's at, it's even wilder. So it bears watching, and you have to pay attention to what you're doing. Now, with that being said, the commercial fishermen in the Memphis area have said numerous times that they catch several world record sized fish every year, but nobody wants them except pay lakes. And most of them turn those fish back because they can't sell them and do anything. And let's face it, catfish are just like beef or hogs or any other meat that you eat. The smaller ones are always better.
absolutely.
Oh, and a lot more tender. That fish had to have muscle in his shit, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? To be that big and that strong, just to be able to swim around and do what he says he can do.
Yeah,
Holy
that
crap,
there
man.
there wasn't much that fish wouldn't be able to do. I guarantee you, the muscle in him was unreal.
Yeah, I just got a message from James, which I already knew this, but I'll share this with you. I just hadn't got to it yet. The blue cats can live 20 to 30 years, but can live 40 with the right conditions. And if I remember right, there has been some that has lived longer than that, but 20 to 30 years is pretty much their life expectancy if they're not
Should they get there?
harvested.
Yeah,
Yeah, if they're not harvested or something happened to them. I still contend there's no telling how many fish die every year from boat propellers. You know what I mean?
oh yeah,
There's just no way of knowing. But would it be something to see a fish like that in real life? I mean,
that right there is the fish of everybody's dream.
yeah,
You
it
know,
is. It is.
to see a triple digit fish, period, is what
Yep.
everybody hopes. But to see one like that,
Yep.
that fish was just different. That was
Yeah, it was. And it looked very healthy.
yeah,
I mean, I see no reason why that fish, wouldn't go on to live whatever life it has left without any issues because it just looked great. The guy took good care of
So
it. Like I say, everything about that went really well.
yeah, so I mean, and I get that the Mississippi River, Missouri River, known for monster catfish,
Yep,
and we know that those kind of fish, world record class fish are out there in those waters. But here's one a question for you that I have. Do you think now that the Mississippi River and areas down there like that are plagued with the Asian carp issue, do you think that's actually going to increase the chances of fish like that?
absolutely I do, and here's why. The When we was running the tournaments, um, there was a group of people from Illinois Southern University that was doing studies on catfish, uh, what they eat, diet, I guess is the word I'm looking for. Hey, Jody. Um, and they would come to tournaments and they would weigh fish, measure fish. They would get inside of them and find out what they've been eating. They would take samples of their body tissue. At that time, now this was, I don't know, 10, 12, 15 years ago when this lady was doing this. It was a woman and she had 3 or 4 helpers that would come to every tournament. And they had contended then that Asian carp was 75% of every fish they tested's diet at that time. The only issue with that is Asian carp grow so fast that they get so big so quick
Hmm.
they can't harvest enough of them to do it. If they didn't, my God, there ain't no telling how big they are. The protein levels in those fish are amazing. So yeah, it's a natural diet for all catfish now. And I don't know what else eats them. Probably bass and everything else until they get so big they can't handle
Yeah. Then
them.
the only other things down there in the river I could think of besides catfish are obviously gar.
Oh yeah,
Um, you're going to have stripers and stuff eating the smaller ones, but then
right.
they're going to get too
Bass,
big for them.
crappie, maybe. I mean, hell,
You're
they
going to
go
have
far.
muskie, pike, or I don't know. You ain't going to have pike down there, but you'll have muskie down there probably. You know,
Maybe I don't know. I've never heard of anybody catching one, but that doesn't mean they're not
really,
there
we have them in the Kentucky River up here.
naturally.
Hmm. Kentucky's actually got a really good muskie population throughout the state and areas.
Thank you guys for the birthday wishes. I appreciate it very much. It was an okay day. We got to go fishing, caught a few fish.
I thought somebody said Jody's wishing Jody happy birthday too. So happy birthday,
Today's her
Jody.
birthday. Yeah, happy birthday.
I must have missed that. So
Thank you,
happy
Jody.
birthday. Nice to know that you and Lyle basically have the same birthday. Kind of explains a
No, it's a
lot.
day apart.
Basically the same birthday is what I
No,
said, and it
no.
explains a lot.
Oh my
Um,
God.
but yeah, that's a solid source of you know protein and fish. For them now, right? It's an added fat
It's.
source for them fish. I'm just wondering how much that might impact the growth rate of
I think it'll
stuff
help.
like that.
I'm sure it'll help. Now, if I'm not mistaken, didn't I read or hear that that fish was caught on a piece of Asian carp?
I don't know.
I thought I read that somewhere, and it wasn't a real big piece, from my understanding. But thank you, Greg. Appreciate it.
Well, happy birthday to Papa Creole.
Absolutely.
That's on
But yeah,
Friday.
I am surprised that we haven't seen more fish like that with the Asian carp. There's no shortage of Asian carp. That ain't funny.
That's kind of
Nothing
funny.
funny about that.
That is kind of funny.
No, it's not. But yeah, I see. I'm surprised we haven't seen more fish that size with the influx of all the extra food for them to eat. Um, and I expect to see huge flatheads start showing up before long too.
Yeah. So we are approaching the end of October, which is
Yeah,
also known as Hawgtober.
it is.
So obviously, the fall bite is on. The big fish. There's been a lot of big fish being posted
Yep.
in areas. Not
Hmm.
by me because I can't catch them. We struggled Saturday when we went out. Um, where we've had good numbers the other trips out. This weekend for some reason was a struggle, but you look at what Creole and what's been going on their boats down there. You got Jesse and his fish we've been talking about. Look at Parker
Hmm.
Pursuits, and I have figured out, and I said this to my buddy Bill, who fishes with me all the time. Jerry Parker better stop fishing on Friday nights and sending me a damn picture of a 70 or 80 pound fish, because when he does, the very next morning we're in my area sucks.
Oh,
Twice he has sent me a picture in the last couple weeks, and the very next morning was the worst fishing days I've had. I
that's
think it was
terrible.
just like, I was just like in all of his fish and forgot what I was doing and wasn't fishing.
Well, that could be. I did get another message from our buddy James. Says the Mississippi and the Missouri rivers have all fish in North America. Just some have been wiped out, and stocking efforts are what is bringing them back. Little tidbit of information for people that does not know. You know, I talk very highly, as you know, of the Mississippi and Missouri rivers. The Missouri
Never
River,
noticed.
the Missouri River is wild from the South Dakota. There's only a couple dams on the Missouri River, and when it leaves South Dakota, there's no more dams, and until it dumps into the Mississippi below Alton and above St. Louis at the confluence. And then there's a dam that you lock through where they built that canal for the barges to lock through because the chain of rock bridge is down there, and when the water's low, you can't go through it. It doesn't surprise me that there's every conceivable kind of fish in those rivers.
Hmm.
Um, they're massive. A lot of people, you know, I've been to Memphis. I've seen the water down there be 9 mile an hour current, and it's not comparable to the Missouri River. It's just not.
Really?
It's not comparable to the Missouri River. People that fish the Missouri River are boaters. If they're not, they're in trouble because it is a wild. It's just wild. It's as close to a natural waterway as you can get before dams was put in. That's the best way I know how to word that, because it free flows for long, long ways. Now, from St. Louis down to where Jeremy lives, down where it dumps into the Gulf of America, by the way, um, it's free flowing all the way down through there. But the Mississippi gets so much wider down there.
Oh yeah.
The Missouri is not that wide. I mean, it's wide in some areas, but the current just whistles going down through there. I mean, it bears some watching. And here's something else, a little tidbit of information I'll pass along. Several years ago, they stopped repairing all the wing dikes that are on the Missouri River in
I wonder
Missouri,
why though.
be, because there's not enough barge traffic. The reason they build wing dikes is to funnel the current out so it'll erode and keep the where the barges run in the main channel uh, gouted out from, so it's not got so much, so that I have to go and do so much dredging so barges and boats can go down through there. So, but there's not enough barge traffic on the Missouri River anymore for them to spend the money for the upkeep on the wing dikes. And
Yeah,
that's the
but
reason.
you would still think you would want to keep that kind of a flowing river
There it is,
in
and
check.
they just don't. There's not enough revenue from them to pay to keep them up. So
So the Missouri River can flow as fast as 10 miles per hour. That's
at
nuts.
least. I'm not. I would bet it goes more now. I've been on that thing when it was. He'd grab your attention right quick. It'll grab
Mm-mm.
your attention right quick. It'll make a 36-volt trolling motor pucker, boy. I ain't kidding you.
Oh, at that kind of speed, there's no trolling motor that'll hold you.
It'll test a big motor out
I was
sometimes.
going to say, I
Take it
mean,
off.
that's the type of river you better make sure you are damn well guaranteed that boat is going to start every chance because
Mark Barnum says the Corps has done some repair on the wing dikes up there where he's at. That's in Iowa this summer.
mm,
Um, and maybe they've changed that, but I don't think so. Because
Parker
they just
said that
wasn't going to spend the money for it.
Parker said the Missouri is a different animal. It will be inches deep in the middle of the channel at some places.
That's correct.
Huh? That's
It's
crazy.
a fun river, and that's where the old guys that can read water shine. They don't get in trouble. They know
Hmm.
where you're supposed to go, where you're not supposed to go. They can look at a current seam and say, "Oh, we got to move here or there." These new folks, a lot of us, well, a lot of you guys, a little younger than me. I'm not that good at reading water either, but we all depend on our depth finders and mapping.
It's definitely a crutch nowadays.
It is. It is. Um, the people that really know how to read water, if they don't pass that along and somebody pay attention, that'll be a lost art form at some point.
Oh yeah.
So,
There's member LG Bass.
hey, Tom,
Uh,
but yeah, and I know that the James River uh, is a big river and it has quite a bit of current, but I've talked to people that's been out there and it says no comparison.
I've been out on the James River one time, and it was more up by Richmond, and it had some flow because they had a lot of rain at that time.
Right?
It honestly was nothing compared to the Ohio River in the spring. Well, this time of year we don't have current. We're a lake right now. We're
Yeah.
that half mile an hour crap, but
And there's several dams on the Ohio River, but there's
there's a
not
lot of dams on the Ohio.
there. But they don't. I don't think that has anything. I don't think that has that much to do with the fact that it has doesn't have any more current than it does. I think that there's just not enough inflow from.
You would think there is though. We when
You would
we start in Pittsburgh.
think.
So you have the mountains of West Virginia. You have the Miami and the Little Miami, and there's some other rivers up north that flow into it. But yeah, once we get into the summertime, it's dead.
Yeah,
The springtime rains, we have 5 6 mile an hour current. You know, sometimes maybe a little bit more, but for the most part, the highest I think I've really seen it is around 5 6 at top, and that's when you're talking that the river goes from a normal pool of 26 foot to 48 to 55 foot.
that's what I was just getting ready to say. The Ohio River can jump in depth faster and lose it faster than any place I've ever seen.
And it is. I mean, anybody that fishes down through here, it's or fishes the Ohio knows it is the Yo-Yo River because
Yeah,
it can drop 20 feet, 25 feet in a matter of a day, 2 days,
yeah, I was gonna say a couple days. Yeah, Jerry
and
said
that
I still read water before picking spots to fish. Still don't have faith in my electronics. You got to believe in him, Jerry. You got to believe in him. They do you no good if you don't believe in
yeah, I, I yes and no. I think so. We've talked about that before, and I used when I first started fishing out of my boats, I thought more about my electronics than I really should have. And as I've gotten, I'm been about almost 7 years now at boat fishing. I
him. 13?
really, I really become, yeah, less and less, when I first got it, it was all like, oh my god, there's fish, I'm gonna fish that, right? Instead of learning what I was fishing, that's what I kind of have went to now. It's more learning what I'm fishing. It's more, is it rock or mud bottom? Is it finding them ledges and really mapping it out and looking and see what I'm doing with the different structures and stuff like that than I do caring about fish. What
Here,
I'm seeing on the scanning.
here is what made me a believer in them, where I have no doubt they're giving you correct information, providing everything's set correctly.
Hmm.
I mean, your transducer and everything has to be like it's supposed to be. You have to have nothing in the way to restrict your mapping from your satellite feeds or whatever. If you go out at night and the moon's not out and it's dark and there's no lights, if you follow that line that you traveled on your mapping, it will take you right back. If you didn't hit something on the way up there, chances are really good you won't hit nothing on the way back. If you believe in that much, you've got to believe in the rest of it working correctly.
Hmm.
You just have to, or at least I
NJ,
have.
NJ, I was in Elizabeth, New Jersey, so Newark Airport. I was there for work. Um,
Here's a great statement, Shay.
Electronics make you much more efficient with your time. You can tell number, size, and even activity level of fish. I agree.
I do too.
But
That's a very good statement.
the thing that I really, like I said, I focus on more with the depth finder than I do anything else because honestly, it just aggravates the hell out of me to see all those fish down there and nothing's biting. Is the depths of where I'm at, right? If I'm out here in a river, we were talking about this weekend that Bill has talked me out of fishing the way I used to fish, and that's why we don't catch fish no more. So I blamed it all on him. is but I have been trying different stuff now that I have a better boat and I'm more confident about being in certain areas around the barge traffic. I know I can get it out of the way a lot quicker and all that kind of stuff. I can move. Oh, look. But we are, I am trying more things, different areas as far as like depths and stuff. Where before I really found comfort at that 35-foot starting point in my water, right? Now I'm looking at that 50, 60, 70 feet, looking at that more often, trying to see what's there and what's not, getting more comfortable fishing the centers of the river versus just the outskirts of it. So,
I I I believe in mine. I know that there's a lot newer, more updated stuff than what I got, but I know how to operate what I got, and I don't have to worry about buying more until it breaks. But if you if you can the settings on any electronics, I don't care what brand it is or what model it is. If you can't make the settings like you need to make them, if you can't put them where they need to work and know what you're looking at, then a depth finder and mapping is all you got.
Sampy, if I had a 100-foot hole in the Ohio River where I fish, I'd try it at some point. But the deepest hole that I can think of, we've got a couple low 80-foot holes in our 90-foot, or I'm sorry, 90-mile stretch of the river up here. But I know downriver there is nothing that deep. But on the lock below, and I don't know about the above Meldal where J Dog lives. I have not fished it enough to tell you that there's anything bigger than what I'm used to doing in our area.
Our buddy James says electronics are a great tool, but if you can't read a river and know how it flows, they won't help you at all, in his opinion.
True.
I hate to admit it, but he makes a little bit of sense.
A
Not
little
all
bit.
the time, Not all the time, but sometimes. But we'll, it's just.
There's member Mark from Catfish and Crappie.
Hey, Mark.
Um, you know, and that's the thing. Talking about being Hawgtober, where's the best place if you were going on a trip this weekend to a place you haven't fished a whole lot? What are you thinking about? You got these falling temps. I mean, I think everybody's getting this nice cold for the last couple of weeks. You've got cold rains coming down right now. You've got probably maybe a little bit of flow in the rivers, not a whole lot.
Welcome,
Um,
Chris.
you know, if you were looking for a chance at a big fish,
If I was looking for a chance at a big fish tomorrow or anytime this week, next week, I would be headed to the Mississippi River and I'd be underneath a dam.
I would never want to be underneath a dam. That would scare me.
No, I mean under the on the river.
On the
Thank you, Mark.
bottom side.
On the bottom side.
Whew.
I remember for 54 months. Thank you so much. He says I pick spots to fish, then verify fish are there using electronics. Good advice. But yeah, I would be below a dam fishing current seams. And one of my favorite current seams is to find a lock that is open or two and fish between them. There's always a seam between them. Stay away from the Illinois bank because it's usually shallow over there and it's full of Asian carp. You don't want them beating you to death getting in and out of the boat.
Not really. No.
Either that or a scour hole at off the tail end of a wing dike.
All right. So say you weren't fishing the Mississippi because that's all you know. What would you be looking for?
Do what now?
Outside of the Mississippi, because I can guarantee you most of our viewers are not going to go out on that river. So you go to say somewhere like Tennessee River, Ohio River.
Same thing. Underneath the dam.
Okay.
I mean, I dams on any body of water is the biggest structure on that body of water. Period. They always have water coming through them. It may not be a lot, but there's always some water coming through them. And if there's water going through them, there's little fish of some kind that filters through. So, and it creates the most oxygen in that river.
That's
Right?
true.
So
Oh, look.
that's
Here's another
dams are
guy
my
who's got
favorite
jokes.
place to fish. Oh, look at there, Brian B.
Another
We
guy
traded
got.
Josh for this guy.
With that said, this will be my last week on Catfish Weekly from all the hell I've got tonight.
Oh, we
Jerks.
love you, man.
Here's my buddy Quiet Man Curtis. He used to be my friend.
Really?
And Creole says the same thing. The dams provide the most oxygenated water in this particular area.
That's correct. And the water that comes through them dams, depending on depends on how much water's going through the dam, how fast it's going through there, the drop as it comes over the spillway or the locks, how much it does. But I believe that oxygenated water shows up way down below the dam. I don't think it just dissipates. I think it goes with the current, and you'll find it way down below it. Now, there's a lot of times when I'm fishing below a dam, everybody thinks you got to be right next to them. You'll find pockets of fish down a half mile or a mile from that dam, where there'll be a deep spot or a shallow spot, whichever they're looking for, that's the right temperature, and there'll be a bunch of fish in that area. So you just got to take time to find them. And other times they'll all be right up at the dam, and you anchor up from the front of your boat and fish out the front of it and throw as close to that dam as you can get, because there is a restriction, even though some people we know fishes right next to the dam, even though they know it's illegal to do. Not going to mention any names,
Smart.
but you're not supposed to do that. So you want something that'll cast really well with heavy line on it and throw it as close to that dam in that current seam as you get. Because if you hit that current seam, it doesn't take near as much weight to hold it there. If you hit where there's a lot of current coming through that dam and you throw right below one of them locks, it don't matter how much weight you got on it, it's going to float back behind you. It just don't
Hmm.
matter.
Yeah, and you definitely need to watch your regulations on every river in every
Every
state.
lock's different too. Every dam's different.
Yeah,
And back,
because you look at the Tennessee River, you can go literally into the freaking lock, um, which I think is nuts. But
thanks for sharing that, Lisa.
good looking fella. That's all I can say. Um, and then like you said, in the Ohio River, it's different, like dam by dam. Some it's like right towards the end of the lock. There's a buoy line or a red, what they call a red line. And then I don't know about the Mississippi, but I don't think you can go past the lock end, right? So,
Right. Or you're not supposed
um,
to, although it is a great place to catch bait.
yeah. But you think too, especially on a different parts of the river, if you can find those travel points that lead up into the dam, because like you were saying, they're coming up there to feed. Even if you're downriver, if you can find those travel points, that's a great area to set up on. Even if you're anchoring up or spot locking, you sometimes you got to be patient because those fish are traveling up and back. They're traveling up to feed and then they're coming back, right? So you just got to have that patience when you're fishing those areas too.
One of my favorite dams to fish on the Mississippi River. Do you know what a sail is? The big yellow thing on the dam that keeps you barges from running into it. A sail. They're painted yellow. They're at the end of the dams
Okay.
where they lock through. A sail is something that the barges tie up to down below dams and stuff. That's a sail. They're usually concrete or metal. One of my favorite dams on the Mississippi rivers to fish has a trough that runs from the sail all the way across the Missouri bank. And what this trough looks like on your sonar is just a trough, and it looks to be 6 or 8 feet deep. It's always there, been there forever, and it runs all. And then fish will run back and forth up and down that trough. Now, do they always bite? They do not. But there's always fish going back and forth, and I don't know why, but they travel that trough, and I think it's because less current, and you can catch fish there when they're biting in there. You can have your way with them. You just can. But anything like that, if you can find a nice ledge or a corner that has a ledge on it below a dam, oh my God, you better be in that spot at some point during the day.
Now, do you think though, since we're coming up on time here very shortly, I want to talk like bait. Now, usually I've noticed there seems to be a time in the fall I do really well with big baits versus just the medium and smaller baits.
Mhm.
At what point do you think that's going to happen? Because I haven't seen it yet up here.
I think the colder it gets, the smaller bait you can get away with. I think right now I would be throwing medium sized baits, and I'm talking about a head or a body section off of a skipjack or a shad that's, not giant, but just decent size. But I would also take and put me a hunk, cut the tail off of a skipjack about that long and 2 hooks in it, and I'm always going to have a bait like that. I don't care how cold it is. And you don't have to have big bait to catch big fish, but they're looking for a meal. Why give them a morsel?
Hmm. See, I'm still to the point. Well, if I can find good enough size bait, to put out, like you said, at least one or two large baits along with the medium and smaller baits. So
Right. Exactly. Yeah. You want. I
still waiting
always.
to see that changeover. But like I said, so far, well, not that we've had much big bait to use here lately, but
Right.
usually, you know, even
I.
body sections as big as your, as wide as my hand of skipjacks is
I.
being
I
hit right
will.
now, and we don't have it.
I will tell this again, and I've told it many times. When the fish are really biting, you don't really use big baits necessarily. I think I still contend that they're looking for a meal, not a snack. But little fish can't handle big baits. Big fish can handle any bait.
They just pick the hell out of it.
That's it, and they just irritate your ass to death. But a big fish will just take it and suck it up, and it's game on. So I believe in big baits. I really do. But if you want to catch numbers, I think you need to downsize. Just my
Let's
opinion.
see.
Creel said his water temperatures have dropped from 82 to 71 the past 2 weeks. They've been throwing some pretty stupid sized baits, 12-inch shad with the tail cut off and a fillet cut off.
This is the guy that you were giving props to earlier. That's funny
Brian,
stuff. That's funny stuff
that
right
ain't
there,
that,
bro.
that ain't nice.
That's
That's not
pretty.
nice.
That's pretty funny stuff there, Brian.
There's
So
Danny
so
Stone.
funny that even Heather laughed about it.
It ain't that funny.
It's pretty funny. Yeah,
Look
we
at this.
our water temps are in the mid to upper 60s right now.
That I don't know. I haven't checked any lately. So Danny Stone says, for the record, I've been here the entire show. I find that hard to believe, but maybe it is. But full of beans and ham hocks and couldn't reach the phone to type. Had Stacia handed to me. No cornbread, huh?
So Parker says once it hits the lower 50s water temperature wise, he will start downsizing his baits.
I agree with that. But I'll still always put a big one out.
Yeah.
And if I'm drift fishing, and I know you like suspend fishing, and I do too, um, I'll always have a big one suspended. Always. Man, what is it about a rod dead sticked off the side of your boat to when one of them big fish hit that thing and put about 4 or 5 guide eyes in the water and you can't hardly get it out of the rod holder? What
Well,
is it about
exactly what you just said. That bend is just next level. It's just different.
that? It is.
Even when you're dragging baits and those rods, when it gets hit and it loads up and it's got that bend, it's nice, but it is nothing compared to that dead stick bend.
V says I've been 100% been here the whole time. I was playing a video game, so I couldn't type.
You have
Boy,
not. You just
that
woke up from your nap.
we must not rate like that video game does.
Mm-hmm.
Uncle says, poor Lyle, growing older but not up. And that's so true.
Mm-hmm.
So true.
How old are you now? 6'5", 6'6", 6'7"?
What?
If you know, you know. People in chat will get it. Never mind. Anyway, by the way, happy birthday, buddy.
Thanks.
Yeah, 6'5", 6'7".
Yeah. Catfish are getting you straightened up.
Catfish. Well, I'm
Getting you.
hoping to have a nice big fish weekend this weekend. We're gonna see. I'm
I
gonna
hope
take
so
D.
too. You and D going or you and Bill?
Yeah, no, me and D and I are planning a little trip this weekend, a short trip, not too far away, but Saturday is our anniversary. So I don't know how long we've been married.
Oh my God.
I'm just saying.
Does
Luckily
she
she's
know
not.
you don't
Luck,
know?
luckily she's not watching. So that's what I thought.
Mark Barnum says not
17-year
quite as
anniversary this weekend.
Mark Barnum says, Lyle, not quite as old as me. Well, I have to say, Mark, that does make me feel a little better.
Wait a minute. Mark Barnum saying he was here before the Great Flood?
I didn't know. I
Is that
didn't
what,
know.
is that what Mark's saying?
I don't know if that's what he's saying or not. But if I didn't know he was older than me. I thought he was younger than me. But I'll take it.
Thank you, Miss Cindy. Thank you, Heather.
Chad,
Thank you,
when
everybody.
I was in school, my mother worked in the cafeteria at school, and every kid that went through the school line would call her mom, and she didn't care. So now I know what she feels like.
That's right, Pops.
Yep.
I am close to 2 years older than White Whiskers.
Nice.
Yeah, ain't it time for you to start growing the rest of your beard in? You've only got 2 months. Well, less than 2 months.
For what?
Till you got to deliver all them presents.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Today's the
Maybe I'll get
27th.
on
You got 2 days less than 2 months now.
Well, we'll see what happens.
But yeah, but never.
Thank you, Lisa, for hitting the like button. If you haven't hit that, please do. If you enjoy our content,
Sliding out
we
of my
try
chair.
really hard to produce some good stuff for you folks. And if you haven't subscribed, you might do that. You can also join down at the bottom underneath there, if you're so inclined. I know we're about out of time, Chad. Josh told me that he will have he got tied up tonight and couldn't be here, so the bragging board will be out Wednesday, I believe he said. He'll have it out for everybody to see. But I've been on a lot of crappie here lately and some good ones. I have a new video out. You guys can check it out. I've got another edited. It'll be coming out here in the next few days. So the next one you're really going to like. It's not just crappie fishing. I'll leave it at that.
I really like that, even though you're out there doing all this bass fishing, that occasionally you get out there and you catch yourself a nice catfish.
What the hell is that? You should be shot. I love you, man.
What? I mean, it looks just like you. Wearing your awesome Cubs jersey and your Cubs hat.
Oh my God. Yeah, anybody that knows me knows that ain't gonna happen. That was good though. That was real good. So are you in for a while? No more trips planned for a while? That you're gonna be in town on Monday nights?
We will see how that goes. Most of my trips are last minute. Right now I don't have any planned. Oh, excuse me. But you never know when something may happen and my boss says, "Hey, you need to go here or you got to go there."
Yeah. For those of you that's interested, which everybody should be, because Josh has some awesome content, head over to his channel in about 15 minutes. I think what he told me, there's going to be a video premiere. Very interesting. I haven't seen it, but I've heard about the content. I think it's going to be a must watch. I'll be listening and watching it as I turn on to the football game because it's Monday night.
I should have checked my phone.
So you want to see that. Like I say, Josh puts out some awesome content, and I can't wait. It should be really good.
Yeah, I know. As I say, I don't know what you were just saying. I didn't pay attention. I had text messages to turn off all the Panfish Nation garb that you guys had set up for tonight. So, but there is, after we end the stream, it is going to route everybody over to Josh's channel. He will have a premiere going on here in about 14 minutes.
Yep.
So please go over and show Josh some love.
Yeah, he works really hard for good content, and it shows. It really does. So
yeah,
Chad, it's great to have you back, buddy. We're glad that you made the trip safe and sound, and
Thank you.
And even though we ride each other a little bit, it's always good to see you.
Yep. But I know we need to end this stream because you are very much looking forward to watching your favorite NFL team, the Kansas City Chiefs. So
They're not my favorite team, but
thanks everybody for watching. We
I'll watch
appreciate you and hope you have a great week.
that's right. See you soon, everybody.
See y'all later.